Hi everybody and welcome back. We are about to go on to the next step of Eureka. If you recall in the last video, we just finished Anemos. We are now going on to part 2 for Pagos. Good news, adventurer. While you were away, Mistress Crowd completed her work on the Aetheryte relay, allowing us to access another region of the island. I'm told it's quite different from Anemos, far colder on account of the preponderance of I-suspected ether. Accordingly, the team dubbed it Pagos. They've already established a new base camp, and if you'd like to lend a hand with the expedition, you'd be more than welcome. Just say the word and I'll see to the arrangements. I'm sure Mistress Cryle will be overjoyed to see you again. I'm sure she will. Okay, Eureka Pagos, now accessible. You now have access to the Forbidden Land Eureka Pagos, like Anemos. Yeah, we've already read this. Yeah, I think we know what we're doing by this point. Here we go to Pagos. Yes. What? Okay, that was strange. I don't know why it wouldn't let us go in before, but whatever it was, I fixed it. Well, this definitely has an Ishgardian sort of feel to it. Now, I should probably warn you all right away, but out of all the complaints that I've heard about Pagos, out of the 4 of them, this definitely seems to be the most difficult or the most annoying. At least that's what I picked up on from all these other players. You have attuned to the Aetheryte. Okay, so we're supposed to have a couple more. Yep, looks like 3 this time. And we have some fates here. And those 2 fates are supposed to be these bunny farming, but I can explain more about that in a moment. Good to have you with us, Claire. Now that you are here, we can commence our expedition in earnest. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ah, there you are. I thought to find you at Port Surgate, but was told otherwise. It's been some time since we last spoke, and you are obliged to share with me your discoveries, per our agreement. A pleasure to see you too, Ijika. I should be glad to apprise you of our progress, given that you are here. I presume you are well aware of how we reintegrated the relay into the Aetheryte and so forth? Then there is no need to expound upon those facts. However, you may wish to hear from Claire what happened after she flooded the relay. A masked man appeared out of nowhere. I saw a vision of Golof Baldusian's past. Well, both those are true. Bet we'll go for the first one. Warn him about the masked man. Someone not of the expedition, I take it. There I thought we were alone out here. Do go on, please. A masked man seemingly offering power to cast down the wicked, and a vision of our founders discussing how to deal with a powerful entity. An entity they apparently agreed to imprison on the Isle of Val, yet I know naught of it. Have you any idea what it could be, Jika? No, none whatsoever. However, your comrade's account has given me cause to reconsider our previous assumptions, especially in light of mine own discovery. Despite the considerable distance, at Anemos I was able to measure a force being exerted on the barrier which yet encases our headquarters, a force not from without, but from within. Yet if the barrier was erected to repel an external threat, as we originally surmised, one would expect the exact opposite. Perhaps the barrier was not erected to defend, but to imprison, to seal something away, as Golof and the others put it. Will you share any further discoveries with us, Eureka? I will continue my study of the barrier and inform you if I learn aught of note. What do you two intend to do? Strive to restore the Aetheryte to good working order, as before, that we might gain access to our headquarters. My primary concern remains ascertaining whether or not the others are still alive and rendering aid if need be. To that end, I hope I can continue to count on your support. While I cannot say I wholly endorse your approach, as I have no better suggestion at present, by all means carry on. I will be in touch. I swear, even if I were on my deathbed, I doubt he'd spare a kind word. Some folks just don't have it in them to be nice. Where were we? All right, we have yet to detect any anomalies that would suggest the presence of magicite as before. We have only just begun to survey the region, though, and I should be very surprised if I do not have news for you soon. In the meantime, why not see Pagos for yourself? May continue the Eureka expedition upon reaching elemental level 21. Okay, so we'll be back soon for the next quest. Just the woman I was hoping to see. We've detected what I believe might be another magicite, although I cannot say so with confidence. You see, while there appears to be a confluence as before, the flow of the livestream does not seem to have been disrupted to the same degree as what we observed in Anemos. It is less of an impediment to our objective of restoring the Aetheryte to good working order, but it is an impediment nevertheless. Still, it gives me pause. Anyway, our readings indicate the confluence can be found somewhere in the cones, beyond the safety of our encampment, and some distance to the southeast. Be careful out there, Claire. Okay, as you say. So I think I have a basic idea to where it is, but we'll see soon enough. So yeah, this is Pagos at the moment, and I think that the spot is right here, but I will have to double check on that. And for those two notorious monster zones that you saw, those are all have to do with bunny farming. Yes, that is the name of it, bunny farming. By jumping into those notorious monsters or fates, you get to rescue these happy bunnies. And after you rescue these happy bunnies, there's a chance that you could end up gaining like a temporary happy bunny minion. I mean, I guess it's not really a minion, a bit more like a comrade, I suppose. And it wants to thank you for saving it, and so it will lead you to hidden treasure all across Pagos. Which is annoying, to be honest. Okay, so I'm going to cut it there for just a quick moment while I go deal with that notorious monster, but I will be back and show you the exact location for this confluence. Okay, here we are. That was a little bit more difficult than it had to be, but we found the spot. Though the crystal resembles magicite, it appears to be somewhat lacking in color compared to those you found in Anemos. Moreover, it does not seem to be compatible with your Magica board. Okay, now we run for it. I can see now why people hate Pagos so much. I mean, if you thought that Anemos was annoying, this place is twice as frustrating. And I don't know why that snow slug keeps coming after me. Go away! Thank you. Oh boy, that was a nightmare. Okay, so the exact location is right around here. Yeah, it's about 1529, 1628. We'll go with 1529 for now, okay? So those are the coordinates you need to find the first location. And I can't return right now, so I'm just going to have to run straight back, but it shouldn't be too far. So I had a couple notorious monsters pop up, and I've died several times because I have no patience, and I don't want to sneak around. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not bothering, and that's probably going to get me later on. But here in Pagos, I must have died, I don't know, like twice as often as I did in Anemos. These guys just seem a lot more aggressive. It seems a little bit harder to sneak about. I don't know. It's just a lot more annoying, and I can see why people dislike it so much. So I'm just going to skip ahead to meeting with Cryo, okay? Okay, we're back in camp, safe and sound. Just barely, but still. Welcome back. I presume you found our confluence? Our readings indicate that you did. Or did someone else beat you to it? No, we got it. There's no need to worry. A depleted ethereal stream, and in that scarred earth another magicite. Then it was not obstructing the flow, but rather absorbing it until the stream ran dry. But that doesn't... If I may, Claire, I would like to take a closer look at that magicite. At a glance it seems somewhat different, somewhat lacking compared to those you found in Anemos. I will need time to study this to determine if my suspicions are correct. Until then, I must ask you to be patient. Okay, so we can go on once we are level 23. Okay, so we'll cut it there real quick, and we'll be back for the next part in just a moment. Okay, so we're back here in Pagos, about to go on to the next part. Once we reach the level 23. There you are. I've two matters of importance to discuss. First, the magicite you found in the cones. Alas, as I feared, I'm going to need more time to study it. Sorry. If I had another of these, let's call it Depleted Magicite for now, and I reserve the right to change the name. Anyway, if I had another, it might help to speed things along. As to the second matter, we've located another confluence. The readings are nearly identical to the ones we took before, so you can expect to find another Depleted Magicite. You'll need to scour the Val River belly for this one. Do your best to find it, but don't take any unnecessary risks. Okay, so from what I've picked up from other players, the location should be right around there. Okay, I already attuned to one of the shards. Okay, so we can just teleport straight there, save us some time. And I don't think it will be too difficult. I just recommend you stick as close to the wall as possible and only run between monsters when their backs are turned. So around... there it is. Like the first magicite you found in Pagos, this one also seems to be incompatible with humanity aboard. In all likelihood, it too has been drained of ether. Okay, so we can teleport straight back. That was fairly easy. Oh, the loading screens. How I dislike them. Okay, Cryo. We found the second one. It's always a relief to see you made it back in one piece. You have it then? The Depleted Magicite? Yes, we do. Just as before. Compared to other Magicites, it wants for ether, and so exerted less influence on the life stream, and yet... Well, I did say another would be a boon to my research. May I? Thank you. I will keep you apprised of any developments. Okay, so we don't get to go on until we are level 25. Okay, that was the shortest quest yet, but hey, we are just getting started. Okay, we're back to the next part. We just became a level 25. And we'll see what Kryl has to say. Ooh, we get a cutscene. Don't worry, Claire. You needn't wait any longer for results. Now, you may recall that the Magicite you recently discovered is somewhat lacking in ether, yes? I strongly suggest that this is not the result of some natural phenomenon. The earth surrounding the stone was also likely scored when the stones were drained of their essence. Think the masked man did it? Well, I think that's the only thing we can say. Do you think the masked man did it? He's up to something, of that I have no doubt, but unless you can tell me you saw him handling the Magicite, assuming anything beyond that would be baseless speculation at this point. Setting that mystery aside for the moment, I can tell you that we've located another confluence within Pagos. Curiously, that one appears to be more akin to those observed in Anemos. It may well be a Magicite still replenitent with ether. Our readings place it near the eastern edge. It will be a trek, but I hope you're ready and willing to head back out there. Yep. Oh, and before I forget, Jarrell was asking after you. Apparently he's hit upon a few interesting discoveries of his own regarding weapons or some such, and wished to share them with you. Okay, that should be good. Right, so let's go see what Geralt has to say. I think that we won't be able to move on until we do. Hey, Geralt? Ah, there she is, the woman who's gonna get me off this bleeding rock. The woman that deserves a weapon of phenomenal power as befits her martial prowess. Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious at all. Oi, what's with the reaction? I'm doing you a favor over here. Try and look more enthused about the prospect, why don't you? Alright, whatever you say. That's more like it. So I made ye a bloody brilliant weapon in Anemos, aye? The very best what anyone could craft in that bastard region. Couldn't do better, believe you me. All that wind aspected ether seeping into every little thing means you'd be foolish to even try. Now, your average smithy throw their hands up in defeat, but Geralt's anything but. I found a solution to our problem, and an elegant one besides. If the elemental forces in your weapon are out of balance, all we gotta do is bring 'em back in line. And to do that, we'll need a boatload of crystals, stock full of ether of various aspects to cancel out all the wind. There you go again, making that face. Worried about where in the seven hells you find that many crystals? Nowhere, you daft sod. You'll make 'em. Her face! Feast your eyes on this beauty, a Eurekan kettle. Take it with ye when you go about your business in Pagos. Every time you kill beasties, it'll suck up a portion of their ether. When the kettle's brimming with enough vitality ether, you can convert it into a crystalline form, with the aid of a proper facilities, that is. Where are we supposed to find it? Where are said facilities, you ask? That's a damn good question. You don't know? Hold your chocobos, killer. I honestly don't know. Somewhere in Pagos, though. That much is certain. Brile's the one that told me her grandfather developed an apparatus for the purpose of compressing ether into crystals. Reckon it should be somewhere near our camp. More than that, she can't say. Any road, you ought to know this crystal forge when you see it. If it helps, think of it as an adventure. You're still an adventurer, ain't ye? Yeah, you're pushing your luck here, buddy. Right then, I'm counting on you to bring back those crystals so we can make a better weapon and prove that my method isn't a load of bullocks. And then the Harledan will have to give me my due, and I'll be one step closer to freedom. The challenge continues. As you defeat enemies in the Eurekan land, Eureka Pagos. Quality of ether with your kettles currently infused with... And yeah, I get it. Well, actually, I don't get it, but I have no patience to read that. That's my biggest problem. I have no patience whatsoever. Okay, but right now, the biggest question is finding the confluence. So it should be right there where the marker is. So we'll take the Ethernet shard. And it's farther than the last time. But again, not nearly as bad as I would have thought it would be. So I am going to cut away real quick. Once I reach the location, I'll be back, okay? Okay, so almost there. It's supposed to be real close to this mountain edge area. So just stick close to this part, and you should be able to avoid the monsters, and yep, there it is. Okay, so the location is 3020. Good to know. Ooh, a cutscene!
No, this will not do. No, not if the righteous are to rise triumphant. Where art thou, our bearer promised, and worthy to wield the blade, just and true?
By all means, convince me I'm wrong. Tell me there's a way. A bearer just and true, if the accounts are to be believed. How wonderfully subjective. So one with such qualities would be judged worthy and therefore be in no danger? Simple as that? As if anything about this is simple. We already know that prolonged exposure places the bearer's very soul at hazard. By the time the others even realized, the icon had already prevailed. Indeed. Then until we can conceive of a method to completely and utterly starve it of ether, we can but maintain the status quo, vexing as it is. In so doing, we merely pass our problems to the next generation. Sever the streams, seal it away, our every measure can be defeated, all our progress reversed. Ah, who would have thought that ether be so damn hard to manipulate? Sever the streams. Ah, that won't do. Alter? No. Golub's got that look again. Any moment now, he'll be saying, I've got it. My friends, victory is not beyond us. There is a simple method by which we may yet reverse our fortunes. To wilt, we reverse the flow. I have no idea what he was talking about. And he's gone. Every cutscene we have, I get more confused. The masked man is nowhere to be found. However, you spy a small object near where last you saw him. Okay, so he does have something to do with the Magicite there. And... okay, so no one's looking. Let's just grab it real quick. The object seemingly left behind by the masked man is yet another depleted Magicite, identical to the ones you found before. Okay, so let's get out of here. And just in case you need to know for sure where it is, right here, where this marker is, at 3020, that are the coordinates. Okay, so let's just return back real quick and tell Cryo what we found. Hey, Cryo. Something interesting happened out there. There you are. For a moment there, we were all more than a little worried something might have happened. Well, something did happen. While you were away, we recorded a sharp decrease in ethereal density until the confluence was more or less identical to those we previously measured. It was almost as though the Magicite was being drained of its ether in that moment. Yep, more or less. What? The masked man? And another vision of grandfather's past? This is too much to process. Forgive me, I need a moment to gather my thoughts and try to make sense of everything you have told me. May continue the expedition. Oh, come on. Level 29? Okay, so we're gonna call it there for right now, but we will be back in just a quick moment, okay? And here we are. Level 29. I really must apologize. I kept you waiting for an age when I tried to make sense of these latest developments. Let us review. Let's start with the masked man. While you didn't actually see him do anything to the Magicites, I think it reasonably safe to assume that he is the one going around draining them of their ether. His objective remains unclear, but gives his vague pronouncements and your visions, it has something to do with the entity grandfather and the others imprisoned on the Isle of Vow. As for the identity of said entity, I fear that, in light of your most recent account, it is extremely likely we are discussing a primal. Well, that sucks. Grandfather spoke of an icon which, as you may recall for our experiences with the Triad, is what the Allagans called primals. Any distinctions are more or less academic. What matters is the possibility we may have to deal with it. What is equal parts amazing and frustrating is that none of these revelations, fascinating as they are, do anything to explain how the Isle moved from one side of the world to another. For all we have learned, there is still far too much we do not know. I'd very much like to hear Ajika's thoughts on all this, but wouldn't you know it, whenever I actually wish to speak with him, he's nowhere to be found. I hate to ask this of you, but could you go and search for him? Last I heard, he was headed to the Bull's Pen to conduct a survey. If and when you do find him, please share with him everything we have learned. You needn't ask for his opinion. Doubtless he will not hesitate to offer it. Okay, so let's see if we can find him. Here we are on the very edge. Yeah, so after looking around for a really long time, longer than it had to be, we have the location. Supposed to be right on the edge of the map here. And we're supposed to be up on this cliff and drop down, and here he is. Thank you, my friend, for healing me. I needed that. Okay, so she's busy. Just let me thank her real quick. Yeah, thanks so much for your help. Okay, so here's Ajikai, and the location is at 921. Those are your coordinates, so remember that. Well, if it isn't the adventurer, still running all over trying to find confluences and magicite for Cryo. The vaunted echo yields up more information, does it? Of course it does. How you two must delight in stumbling upon revelations and rubbing it in the faces of us mere mortals. Whoa there, buddy. What's with the attitude? That was rude. I apologize. You've given me no reason to believe you would harbor such motives. I allowed my personal feelings to cloud my judgment. I'll not deny it. I resent you and Cryle for your gift. To we who have toiled and suffered for every scrap to our name, the very idea that another was simply chosen is infuriating. I was born into poverty. What I have achieved, what I have become, all was through mine own efforts. I earned my place with Galof and the others. Yet no matter how hard I strive to better myself, I will never be held in the same esteem as the Levieurs and Cryles of the world. There was a time when the questions kept me up at night. What do they have that I lack? What indispensable, indescribable quality do these esteemed personages possess that sets them apart? This must all seem so very petty to you. Doubtless you will claim that your gift, your echo, is not at all the blessing the rest of us believe it to be. Well, believe me, it's not. Definitely has its drawbacks. No, it's pretty much a blessing. No, it does have its drawbacks. I mean, we're the ones who are asked to kill primals all the time. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, eh? You'll forgive me if I continue to envy your so-called burden. Been enough about me and my prejudices. You came for my insight, and so you shall have it. You may find it lacking, though. Galop's talk of reversing the flow calls to mind the miaged ethereal currents which crisscross the isle. Therefore, an even more detailed study of which might be in order. One particular site comes to mind. Cryle will know of what I speak. I'm afraid that's all I can offer of this time. Rest assured, I will be in touch if I learn anything I believe may be of use. And so now we have an idea to why he's so rude to people all the time. But really, buddy, we have no more say in the matter than you do on who gets chosen or not. Okay, we found a Pagos elemental, yay! And a notorious monster. So I'm going to cut it here real quick, and next you'll see me, I'll be back at camp. Okay, so we dealt with the notorious monster, and here we are back with Cryo. Let's tell her what Ajikai said. Welcome back, Claire. Did you find Ajika? Yes, we did. Learned some very interesting stuff from him, too. He must be speaking of the Proto Aetheryte. It dates back millennia and was created during the initial development of the technology, some surmise. The students mostly use it to monitor fluctuations in the ethereal currents when performing various experiments. If the various phenomena on the island are impacting the flow of the life stream, then a closer examination may provide valuable insight. And although we rarely used it for teleportation, an Aetheryte's an Aetheryte. It may prove useful in restoring the Ethernet and gaining access to our headquarters. It's a plan, then. We will conduct one final survey to confirm whether or not any magicite remain to be found in Pagos. If not, then we can proceed with our investigation of the Proto-Aetheryte. Okay, continue once we reach level 35. Aw, man. Okay, so we'll cut it there and be back in just a moment. Okay, here we are, and this should be the final quest we have here for Eureka Pagos, and I will not lie, it is something I am looking forward to. We've completed our survey, Claire. No more Magicite to be found. However, there's a new complication. The Proto Aetheryte is located within a cave system in the northeastern highlands. Unfortunately, given the terrain and other hazards, it's simply not feasible to travel there on foot. Which leaves the Ethernet as our only means of access. Or would if everything was working properly. I thought the Magicite were responsible for the disruption, but not this time. Rather, it seems that there has been a pronounced shift in the ethereal currents, possibly as a result of the island being moved halfway around the world. Further adjustments will be necessary if we want to restore the Ethernet to good working order, but before I can even begin to determine what adjustments to make, I need you to help me identify one of the more significant changes, a massive concentration of ether. Given the readings, I wouldn't be surprised if you've observed it already. In any case, it appears to be somewhere near Alec Rock. As is all too often the case, such high concentrations of ether are like to have been warped nearby creatures. Be prepared to deal with extremely aggressive and dangerous beasts. Oh, great. That's just terrific. However, I know where the location is this time. It's right here. So we can just take a Ethernet shard and head over to the gravitational studies. So we just run up here. Do 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 do. Let's see if I can avoid these monsters. Oh, there's so many. Why do they do this to us? Let's just take the long way round. I think that's our best option. Oh, crap. Okay. So, right around here. Please don't look at me. Ignore me. A griffin. Oh, come on. Don't pay me any mind. I'm not here to do anything to you guys. Yes. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. Yes! We made it! Another cutscene? Aw, that is cool. And an endless fount of ether appears to be surging forth from beneath the earth. That really is cool. The column extends high into the sky, further than you can see. Okay, we'll return back. And I apologize if you hear any squeaking over my voice right now. That's just my new kitten playing with his toy. It's got this little toy mouse that squeaks every time he tosses it around. Okay, Cryo, we found the problem. By your return, I take it you found it? Yes, we did. An endless fount of ether surging high into the sky. Yes, it all makes sense now. In that case, I think I know what to do. I'll need time to do it, though. Considerable time. We'll also need to ascertain the state of our destination. Right then, I believe I have nothing more to ask of you at this time. There's little else to be learned from Pagos, and the work ahead is the sort I do best alone. Thank you again. Okay, reach the conclusion of this chapter of Eureka Expedition. The expedition will continue in a future update. Yes! And we can now ride mounts! Yay! I'm so happy on that now. We don't need to run anywhere anymore. Oh, what's happening now? So Goluf and the others were struggling to deal with the primal, were they? I wonder. And how did the depleted magicite fit into this? Primal, icon, primal, icon. Wait, Goluf said icon, not primal. Is there a difference? Who goes there? Oh no.
Seekest thou power, power to smite thine enemies, to cast down the wicked and raise up the righteous?
The infamous masked man, we meet at last. Now, who are you? Or should I ask, what are you?
The blade thou wouldest wield, the magics thou wouldest master, the honor thou wouldest seize, the power and the glory, the purpose, thy purpose. I am Eureka!
Okay, did not see that twist coming. Oh man, we're not gonna know anything until we reach the next part. I know you're eager to help out, and I appreciate that, but there really is nothing else you can do right now. Try and get some rest. You do know how to do that, don't you? Not really. But that's going to be it for Pagos right now. And good riddance if you ask me. The next video is going to be the next part of the expedition of Pyro. So, I hope you're looking forward to it, and I'll see you there.